Hello guys, Khalory here, and I'm here in the spawn village. You can see there's a couple of farms going on here. Some stuff that I steal resources from occasionally, but now that I've got my own farms up, I don't have to worry about that too much. But I've come here today because of these. These are rubber trees. They've been stripped of their leaves. You can see there are a couple left, but I'm just here to harvest some sticky resin, which you actually need to make rubber from. Now you can see these spots. If you take this tree tap, which I just showed you, and if you right click on it, you can get all this sticky resin from it. And sometimes I'm just lagging a little bit, so it sometimes looks like it's going in a different direction. But basically, once you tap it, you can see that there's actually a little remnant of the sticky resin spot. And basically that just means that it will regrow. You can, if you really want to, you can harvest this again, but it will use up the spot and stop the sticky resin from ever coming back. So I'm just going to harvest as much as I can from here. And I need this sticky resin because today I'm getting started with IndustrialCraft. I haven't built any IndustrialCraft machines yet, so you get to see me build all the way from scratch. There's actually a really cool thing you can do with a portal gun is with in relation to these rubber trees. You can actually move all of the spots that have sticky resin, and you can actually just make a wall out of them if you keep growing more trees. So that's probably something I'll do at my house at some point. But for now, I'll just take the sticky resin from here. And I've got 19, which should be plenty for what I'm going to be doing. You do need a lot of sticky resin for later on in IndustrialCraft, but for now I don't need very much, because I'm just going to do a couple basic things. Now I'm just going to head back to my house. And I see Sphinx is here. What are you doing here, Sphinx?
Trying to figure out the command for the setting font size or text size.
Oh, I see. I see you were going to say hi to me, but then it didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm pretty much slow.
Alright, well, that's unfortunate.
Having an attempt
attempt to call Nell.
That's like my least favorite thing ever. And then it's just like, your program's so messed up, I'm just gonna break on you.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna get to some IndustrialCraft machines.
And while you do
so,
that,
yeah, you try to fix that, and I'll just be working on this.
Too. It's crazy.
Okay, so guys, now that he's out of the way and doing his own thing, I'm just going to actually put this iron into a furnace. And if you put the iron into the furnace, you'll actually get refined iron, and I'm going to need a bunch of this stuff. So I'm actually going to split this up over 2 furnaces because, well, normal furnaces aren't very quick. But I will definitely get to much faster furnaces later down the line. But with just factorization, I can't do it. But with IndustrialCraft, I can. However, it requires a lot more power than I'll be generating today. Because today I'm just going to go into the basic power generation, which will just be a coal-powered furnace, basically. A coal-powered generator. And that will be able to, that will charge into a bat box, which is IndustrialCraft's most basic energy storage unit. So you can see I actually got the achievement better than iron, because it's refined iron, so it's naturally better than iron, of course. But I'll just come back in a minute once more of this is smelted.
I'm filling in a hole.
Well, alright guys, so I just put some of that sticky resin in a furnace, and you can see you get rubber out. Now there is actually a more efficient way to get rubber, which I'll be getting to soon. But for now, I'll just put my stuff in this project table. You can see I smelted up a bunch of refined iron. And the most basic thing you need for all IndustrialCraft machines is this machine block. Just 8 refined iron It's really simple and pretty cheap to make. Now, because there's some more complicated stuff, I'm actually going to use some plans in here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I actually don't need a plan for, but I'm going to make this uninsulated copper cable, and then I'm going to add some rubber to it, and it will actually become insulated copper cable, or just regular copper cable.
Cal.
Yeah, what is it, Sphinx?
Why do you do the uninsulated and to insulated? Why don't you just use the bar straight surrounded by rubber?
Because you need uninsulated copper cable for some things. But you can also use this recipe if you prefer. I just happen to like the other recipe better.
This is weird.
It's just personal preference.
That's weird.
Okay, Sphinx, you just keep believing that.
Did you show him my monitor?
What monitor are you talking about?
The one that said bees.
Oh, the bees monitor. Okay. What is this? Oh, you made the monitor bigger.
Did I?
Hi, Cal. This is to say I am way better than you in every way. Love, Sphinxy. Aww, he put a little smiley face. Bees. Bees are really cool. I'll show you those at some point. I'll probably head over to Sphinx's place in a few episodes and show you what he's got going on there. But I'm actually happy about this message that it rhymes.
Does it rhyme?
This is to say I'm way better than you in every way. Yes, it rhymes.
Oh my gosh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
Well, now you do. Alright, I'm gonna get back over here. I'm not using anything fancy to travel really fast. I just have haste on my boots. So
what kind of boots do you have?
I just have golden boots with haste. Haste 3. But anyway, this is an electronic circuit. You're going to be needing a ton of these, which is why I like to make a plan for them. But for now, I'm only going to make one, because that's all I need for now. Now, the next basic thing, you need some more of this copper cable. And you actually only need 4, but I'm going to get some more, because I feel like it. So this is the basic recipe for an RE battery. The RE battery is the most basic portable energy storage that you can get in IndustrialCraft. I'll just make 4 of them. Honestly, I actually don't remember how many I need. I think, yep, I only need 3.
For the bat box?
Yep. And I'm lagging a bit here, so I'll be right back. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So, as you can see, as you probably just saw, I'm going to make myself a bat box. Now this is very basic. It can hold about 40,000 EU, which I think is electrical units. I don't quite remember. It's not too important. And now this bat box has a bunch of different sides, and one side in particular has this dot. Now this is the output face of the bat box. So if I right click on it and open this GUI, you can see that it can hold 40,000 EU, and it will output 32 EU per tick. One tick is roughly 1/20th of a second, so it can output quite a bit of EU. Or at least it looks like it. 32 EU per tick is not actually very much, but we'll get into that in a moment. So for now, I have to make some other stuff. I need a generator. Now I remember why I made 4 batteries. You need 1 battery for the generator as well. So if I could open this project table, I could show you how to make a generator.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like somebody's causing some TPS.
Well, hopefully that'll be cleared up. Yeah, it's probably Assassin. Wow, that's not very nice. Okay, so a very simple recipe, just a machine block, an RE battery, and a furnace, and you get a generator.
It looks like a server restart's going in, so...
Okay, well, if I just put this generator next to here, and put some coal in here, this is just the most basic generator, but it will burn coal and charcoal and the like. And you can see it's burning now, and if I look at the bat box, it's actually gaining power very, very slowly because I'm lagging terribly. And as Sphinx said, we'll probably get a server restart, and I'll be right back to you after that's done. Alright, I'm back. The nether was lagging quite a bit, so we had to restart the server, but now we're back, and my coal is finished burning in the generator, and you can see that it produced 4,000 EU. That's 1/10 of what this can store, and the generator itself also has an internal buffer. And you can't see it filling up because it will output directly into a bat box or any wires that you have next to it. That is actually the next use for this insulated copper cable, or uninsulated copper cable. It's your choice. You don't have to insulate it for this, but if you don't, you could get electrocuted. So you can actually do something like this, and it will output into this wire. Now currently we don't have any machines, so we should get on that, and so we can try out using some of this stuff. So for our first machine, we'll need another machine block, I believe. And let me just look up the recipe. It's been quite a while since I've made one of these. But we're going to make an electric furnace. We actually just need an iron furnace, an electronic circuit, and some redstone. So let me just put my electronic circuit plan in here and make a couple more copper cables. You can see I actually have just enough rubber. And make one of those. I actually need some regular iron for the iron furnace, which is actually the same recipe as a regular furnace. It just with iron rather than cobblestone. And then you just set it up like this, and you get yourself an electric furnace. And I didn't notice that I actually had an extra electronic circuit right there. Now this doesn't have to come into the side, but because this bat box is facing in this direction, that's pretty much the only direction that the wire can come out of. And since I don't have much wire, it's hard to demonstrate, but you can, for instance, go like this. You don't want to connect it, you don't want to do something like that, because then the power will feed back into the bat box, and there's actually energy loss in these cables. The copper cables have a fairly high energy loss, but if they're insulated, the energy loss is lower. And basically it will lose energy for each block of wire that it travels through. So now this is fully charged, and you can see that it took about 400 EU to fully charge this, and this is basically charged for one item. So if I put that in there, it will use up some energy and it will cook it, just like if I were using charge over there. So if I disconnect this from the battery box and then put something in here, you can see that this red lightning bolt will drain, showing that it's running out of power. And so it's one full cycle will get you one smelted item. Now there are all sorts of different machines that you can run with this. It doesn't have to be an electric furnace. And for the sake of showing you how, I'm going to make a wrench. So a wrench is pretty simple, but you actually need a new material, bronze, which is very simple. You just need some copper and some tin. And you just need about 6 bronze here. And this will get you a wrench. This is different than the other wrench that I showed you. The other wrench was for BuildCraft. This one is IndustrialCraft. And so I can do this, and it will actually change the output side of the battery box, of the bat box rather. Battery box is actually something completely different. And then if I just do that, you can see that I used less copper cable, so it will actually use less energy because less energy will be lost in the copper cables. So that's pretty much the very basics of IndustrialCraft. There are many different types of generators. I can show you a couple of them now. Okay, it's very inconvenient, but if I just do this, and I can actually show you the recipes that the generator is used in. And that will be most of the different types of generators. So for instance, you can have water mills, you can make solar panels, you can actually make a nuclear reactor, you can make windmills, and you can make geothermal generators. Now I have a very interesting idea for a way that I'm going to use geothermal generators, which I'll probably get to in a couple episodes, but there's a few other things that I definitely have to explain to you guys first. And this is also for you can make a generator upgrade so that you can use uranium to power the turtle robots that I showed you guys last time. And someone was kind enough to dirt in my door, because I have yet to make one. And you can see that I didn't have enough glass to finish the ceiling, so I just made a pattern. But this is some of the basic machines. I do need some other stuff, so I will actually make one other thing for you right now. And that is going to be an extractor. And this is what I was mentioning, how you can get more out of your rubber. So you actually need 4 of those tree taps. And one more. And you'll just need 1 machine block and 1 electronic circuit, which I've conveniently already made. And there, that will get you an extractor. So if I put the extractor right here, move this torch, and hook this up, you can see that it's now fully charged. And basically, if you put 1 sticky resin in here, it will take quite a while, but it will actually produce 3 rubber from it. So it's much better than using a furnace, because a furnace will only net you 1 rubber. This isn't a huge problem if you have a lot of sticky resin, but at least for now I have very little, and it's always better to get whatever you can out of what you have. So you can see that I got 3 rubber from it, and I'll be able to use rubber for creating more machines and more interesting stuff down the line. Also, this basic generator burns coal quite quickly. There are you could of course use other solid fuels like charcoal, even like blaze rods, but for now I'm just going to use coal since that's pretty much all I have. And also, if you didn't have this bat box here, in fact I'll break it right now. When you break it, it will lose all of its internal storage, but for now there wasn't very much stored in it anyway. But this generator will actually be able to output into these machines. So this is draining, but if I throw some coal in here, it will burn, and it will actually fill this back up. And this is also a good way to show you that it will store a certain amount. I think this is about 10,000 EU, so about 2.5 coal. Perhaps less. It might only be 5 or 6,000. But regardless, you can store energy in that as well. So I'm just going to put that back down, and we no longer need the wire. So that's just some basic IndustrialCraft stuff. I'll get back to you later, probably next episode. I'll probably wrap this one up for now. And I can show you a couple more machines. There are some very important ones, including one which is going to be hopefully a main source of my group's automatic mining. And by my group, I mean that this guy over here, I don't know if he's in his house right now, has actually moved in with me. Well, more or less, you can see he's building his own space. And this is actually very cool. He's a much better artist than I am. And this is for Thaumcraft. You can see all sorts of interesting stuff here. And I'll probably get to explaining that to you guys sometime. And this is also some computer stuff, which hopefully I'll be able to explain that too. Ooh, so many things to tell you guys. Alright, I'm going to wrap up for today, guys. And I'll see you next time.